Greetings, beautiful people. So in this video I want to talk about awareness and consciousness or consciousness. The reason why, I mean, if you really want to look at the meaning to each one of those words, it's so closely related. But you know, you could be aware of things, but then, you know what I mean, like consciousness, you can expand your consciousness, and this would kind of widen or broaden your awareness too, wouldn't it? I mean, it's basically what you are. See, this is what I believe we're here to do, is evolve the consciousness, right? Expand and evolve your consciousness. Not come here and just work, go to school, and then go to work and use nothing you learned in school to make money and then die. No, that's doing nothing for your consciousness. It's only increasing a level of intelligence which you're not even using at all, okay, in the work world. But then again, when you look at consciousness, because here's the thing, see, there's certain people who think they're more conscious than somebody else because they read more books, they looked at more videos and stuff like that, maybe meditated a little bit more, and they think they're more conscious. You see, everybody's conscious, okay? It's just about how conscious. That's the whole thing. Because you see, this is what I was talking about in the previous video with light and dark, okay? See, let's put two people, all right, in separate places. Let's put one in the dark room and then one in the light room. All right, they're both conscious. They're both conscious, self-aware, and self-conscious, conscious of self. One, okay, can see everything because the lights shine and they are able to see. The other one in the dark room can't see anything, right? But does that make the one who's out in the light more conscious than the one in the dark? All right, now, I want to look at it from another perspective. How about if the one in the dark can actually see now, can see more than the one in the light? Because maybe the one in the light is blinded by the false lights, which we call lux. That's how we measure light. And lux, you get the word luxury, right? And lust. So you notice how if you close somebody up in a dark room for a few days, they'll start to hallucinate, because the thing is that they'll start to produce the DMT, the dimethyltryptamine, in their brain. So how do we know that? Because one can see more here with this, the lights, meaning like doing more research, is more evolved or more conscious. No, I just think you're more educated, but not more conscious, right? You know, I think that the more we think we're evolving, because new technology is coming out, and you have you know, you're able to speak this language so much better that you're more evolved, when in actuality you may be going backwards, right? And again, this is a what if, and I think, but you may be going backwards. And the reason I say that is because the more technology, the more we depend on that, the more we gear toward just doing research and watching videos, the lesser we go within, where our true technology is hidden within. See, we think that these gadgets that come out, these computers that come out, are more advanced every time they come out, right? But this organic computer, how do you know it's not way more advanced than any computer that you can possibly think of here in this physical realm? The thing is that it's been incapacitated, right? But who incapacitated it? There's the they again, right? Because if we want to really look at this, okay, how are we incapacitating it, right? Because if you look at our body, or it's literally, it all comes down to memory. Memory water and light. Shout out Zen, water and light. See, when we buy computers, when we buy our phones, we look at how much space the computer can store, how much memory it's able to hold, right? And how fast it is. So isn't that what our organic vessel is all about? The memory. Notice how you go into a dream realm. The first thing you want to do is remember your dreams, right? You want to remember who you are here. This is part of the evolution of consciousness. Is remembering that you're not a victim. You did all this and you're here because you want to be here. Look at dogs. We look at dogs as a lesser species, right? Dogs, see my dog, for example, if I come in the house and my dog did some dumb shit in the house, like pretty much tear the garbage apart, I get pissed, right? I get pissed. My dog already knows I'm pissed without me even saying anything to the dog. My dog is greeting me at the door because the dog doesn't remember what the dog did. Okay? He doesn't remember, right? He just knows he fucked up, but then the moment you come to the door, that's not on his mind. He's just there to greet you. But the moment my energy and my vibration changes, my dog senses that. And his ears go back, his eyes starts to put his head down, right? Because I saw the garbage all over the floor. And then I'm like, fuck. Now it's up to me, of course, to not come out of my space to, because that's also me feeding my energy by getting pissed off, knowing that I could have done something to prevent that, like move the garbage up, but I didn't remember to do that. And sometimes I don't remember, right? So this is part of evolution, is just learning from mistakes, right? Not letting things happen where it's going to get you out of character. Because the thing is, here's the thing, if my dog tears the garbage up, right? It's like more work for me when I could be doing something else, right? But I forgot to prevent certain things from happening with preventative measures, right? But look at the dog. The dog can just sense your energy right away the moment it changes. Because I'm greeting my dog. I'm like, what's up, buddy? What's up, buddy? Right? And then all of a sudden, the moment I see the garbage, I'm like, oh, fuck. And then all of a sudden, that's where he starts to changes. You know what I mean? But they're a lesser species, right? But they can read energy better than people can read energy. But why? Because the way we've evolved is to only get an understanding of each other through language. Meanwhile, we could read energies too, because there's people who are down and you'd be like, yo, well, what's up with you, man? You look like you seem down. Are you okay? But you would have to ask that person if they're okay, and they would have to give you a response, which could be bullshit or it could be truth, whatever it may be. But it's up to you to believe it, the belief, right? So who is it? Going back to, the person in the dark, right? See, you are the light. So who is to know that the person in the dark that can see now is not more evolved than the person who is out in the lights doing their research, paying attention to the lights to feed their brain the information instead of going within to access this information from within. But don't forget, you got to upgrade your computer. And the only way you upgrade your computer is by clearing some space. The same way you would clear a computer or your phone and it runs more efficiently, right? You got to clear the programs. Your phone asks you to clear out some unuseful information so that you can have more space in the computer to run more efficient, right? So what do? You clear your vessel out, and then you can now level up, upgrade your computer, right? There's certain things you can go into as far as like Shivambu, which is drinking of the living waters, and I was talking to the Mayan Jinn the other day. Is it really detoxing, or are you really just charging up? And it's really true. Okay, you do charge up. Why do you get more energy when you're fasting? It's so funny, but then people think that you get more energy when you eat. But in actuality, you're really not getting energy. You just think you're having more energy. Because why is that after you eat, you're yawning, right? So when I don't eat, for example, I literally feel way more energetic and lighter on my feet especially than I do when I eat, right? And it also depending on what I eat, all right? And you know, the person, and I know I'm going all over the place, but the person who's in the dark, for example, can see more. But why? Because they're emitting their own light. And you are the light. That's the whole thing. So when you start to emit your own light, you can see in the dark. And you can start to shed light on things that need to have the light shine on. Because I mentioned in the previous video where you have to shed light on things. But what light are you shedding on your shadow? On the shadow aspects of yourself. The lights that you're not using any other lights, but the lights that you're emitting. Right? Because you are, if you look at time is emit. And all you emit is, you emit that energy, the frequency, the vibration, the light, right? So it's pretty interesting how, you know, if you really sit back and just really analyze and just observe the situation, all these things could just come to you kind of like, it's kind of like getting downloaded information. You know what I mean? So this is where you go into, you know, enlightenment. Because if you're emitting your own light and you're able to see in the dark, you are emitting your own light. You're enlightened. But then the other person is educated. Education comes from the Latin word educar. Educar. Educari. Educar means to bring out. Okay? So you really got to just, and this is why I say I analyze the language for that reason. You know, and I analyze language because I can pretty much start to break things down and start to get an understanding and a meaning behind what it is that is being said. And you can start to now, with awareness, of course, use the language with a specific intent, being vigilant of how you feel. All right? So this is why I said in the previous video when we talk about, like, you know, protection and all that, but what are you protecting yourself from? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, you're protecting yourself from yourself. And if you really want to look at it, the longer, okay, you prolong the fact that you can't do your shadow work due to fear, you're only running from yourself. So whenever I see people say, I'm protecting myself from, you know, negative or dark entities and stuff, at the end of the day, you're pretty much running from yourself. But here's another thing, and I mentioned this in a way previous video, where I say any kind of attacks or anything like that you get is all based on the frequency and vibration that you're in right now, in the now moment. Okay? Because you're a perfect, this is how everything works. You're perfectly aligned to basically, you know, to basically have things attracted to you. Okay? Now, the beauty part about this is this. So, nothing wrong with watching videos and looking up information. I'm going to tell you why, because I mentioned in my previous video that we're all spirit guides. And the reason why I say this is because, but then everybody uses this in the wrong way. And the reason I say people use this in the wrong way is because they will look at people and get the information, but look at that, they start to look up to them, right? And it shouldn't be like that. It should be where you're coming from a space where you are listening to this information and let it spark something in you to either put your own spin on it, okay? Because at the end of the day, like I said, we're all pieces of the puzzle that we need to complete this game. This is why we have to, you know, just get that spark. You know what I mean? It's got like a motivation type of thing, you know? So nothing wrong. I don't want you guys to think that I said there's something wrong with looking at videos or looking up, you know, reading books or anything like that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, okay? There's actually very good. It's good because what happens is that when you go, like I said, when you have an understanding, you can have an overstanding, an understanding, however you want to look at it, okay? Now, everything outside of you is a tool. And this is why I say, including the trees. I mean, if you look at trees, we look at the trees, for example, right? Look at the tree And look at a tree as a living library. I mean, how long do you think that tree has been there for? Okay? See, the rings on a tree, all right, is all the information of that tree. I'm not telling you to go cut trees down. You want to get access to this information from the tree, from where it's at, where it's planted with the roots intact. Why do I say this? Because if you look at the tree, all right, you see the log. You don't notice how it says log in your data, right? Data, information, the logs, the data logs, right? And what are they doing? They cut these trees down, you know, and there's actually technology that can read these rings and actually read what's in that tree's environment and what you know, the history of what went on. It's crazy, right? But notice what I just said, that there's technology. But like I told you already, you could do this with this organic computer, where this is the latest, this is the most advanced piece of technology that you can possibly imagine. Only thing is that the indoctrination has you believe that this is not true. But in actuality, it's true. Oh, it's damn true. So start to tap within, okay? Fall back. Use your imagination. Position yourself. Use these feelings and emotions. Transmute them. See, it's not wrong to feel, okay? There's trauma that you may not know you even have. There's negative feelings. Where do they stem from? Get to the root of it. And learn to work with it. And you know what's funny? This video will be for whoever, of course, resonates with this information. Most of my videos are reminders, even for myself. You can make videos. You can make videos and not even make them public. But it's amazing. Sometimes when you just start talking on camera, it's kind of like, you know, when you have a creative, you start writing and then the words just flow through your arm and you just keep writing. See, I was talking to Angie about this, and she says that as she's writing or typing, sometimes the words just flow through, and she said, wow, they just come out. But it's amazing how things just flow when you're allowing, because you're allowing this to happen. You know what chokes you up? Fear, doubt. All that chokes you up. It blocks you. But when you allow and you have a confidence and a feeling of gratitude for being the now moment, and gratitude for the people you have connected with on YouTube. So I'll put this out into the ethers, into public. I'm very grateful. Everybody I've met, I'm very grateful. But what I do, I've always been the type that likes to make sure it is done right. So that's all I have. All right. Like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the little notification bell if you want to be notified of my latest content. And we'll talk soon.